My beloved child. Archangel Michael says. There are moments when the universe shifts so suddenly that even the strongest hearts tremble. A moment like this has arrived for the person who carries your energy in their soul more deeply than they ever admitted. Their world jolted the instant they discovered what you did, and their breath stumbled as if time itself locked them in place. They were moving through their day with a forced calm, trying to convince themselves they no longer cared, only to be confronted with a truth that shattered that illusion. The news reached them so unexpectedly that their hands shook, and their heartbeat grew heavy from disbelief. They never imagined you would take such a powerful step, nor did they expect it to strike them as hard as it did. Their mind replayed the moment again and again, each repetition making their chest tighten with an emotion they could no longer control. It wasn't anger that filled them, nor fear, but a fierce surge of realization about how much you still mattered to them. That realization hit them so hard it nearly brought them to their knees. Your person had walked around thinking they had the upper hand, believing you were predictable and that your feelings were simple to read. Yet the moment they discovered your action, all their assumptions crumbled, leaving them weak in the space where their pride once lived. They never understood the gravity of your presence until it threatened to slip out of their grasp. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Their pulse raced faster than their thoughts could process as they leaned onto something to steady themselves. The shock moved through them with a force they couldn't contain, and they felt as if the ground beneath them had shifted. Every part of them reacted in disbelief because they never expected you to hold this kind of power over their emotions. They thought distance would weaken the connection, but instead it intensified everything beyond measure. They believed silence would protect their heart, only to find themselves overwhelmed when faced with what you had done. The truth pierced through their defenses and awakened every emotion they had buried. Your action carried a vibration they could not ignore, a vibration that refused to allow them to continue pretending. Their breath felt heavy, and their eyes glazed with a mixture of shock and awakening, because they realized your worth in a way they had never seen before. You became the center of their thoughts in a single moment that changed everything. Their pride cracked open, exposing a raw vulnerability they didn't want anyone to witness. They were shaken because they had never expected your presence to influence their life so powerfully. Suddenly, every memory of you came flooding back, stronger, clearer, and undeniably meaningful. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Your person nearly collapsed emotionally because what you did revealed something they were trying to deny. It showed your courage, your strength, your independence, and the depth of your heart in a way they had never truly acknowledged. It made them understand the weight of losing you and the pain of imagining life without your presence. Their heart trembled, not because they were hurt, but because they were confronted by the truth of their own hidden feelings. They saw how much you had grown, how deeply you had transformed, and how unshakable your spirit had become. That transformation shook them, because it showed them that your worth was far greater than they ever gave you credit for. Your energy rose into a place they could no longer reach easily, and that scared them more than anything. They felt the distance widening, yet the pull toward you growing stronger, trapping them in a whirlwind of emotion. They realized you were no longer waiting, and that realization burned through them with undeniable force. They couldn't hide behind excuses anymore because the truth made itself impossible to ignore. Their heart ached for you, even though they tried to hide it behind silence and distractions. The intensity of what they felt was so powerful that they had to sit down, breathe, and accept the truth they had avoided for so long. Type Amen to get blessing 555. My beloved child. Archangel Michael says, your person's soul trembled because your strength activated their healing. It awakened a longing they had suppressed, a longing that now rises within them like a tidal wave. They realized how deeply your absence affected them, and how much your light stabilized their world. Your person didn't collapse physically, but their emotional world cracked open, revealing everything they tried to hide. They felt exposed to themselves, confronted by their own love, guilt, regret, and desire all at once. That inner shock left them breathless, because they realized they had never truly moved on from you. You became a mirror to them, reflecting everything they failed to understand about themselves. Your growth showed them their stagnation, your bravery showed them their fear, and your energy revealed the truth of the connection that never faded. They weren't prepared for this awakening, yet it arrived with undeniable force. This moment became a turning point for them, a point where they could no longer suppress the truth of their heart. They felt as if your name echoed inside their chest, pulling them toward you with an energy they can't resist anymore. Their emotions rose to the surface so powerfully that it left them trembling. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They tried to distract themselves, but nothing worked, because their soul kept returning to you. Their memories became louder, their dreams more vivid, and their longing deeper with each passing hour. They never realized how much your presence softened their world until the shock forced them to confront it. Your person now understands that losing you would be the greatest regret of their life. They see your worth more clearly than ever before, and this realization has reshaped their intentions entirely. They are being guided to step forward, to release their fears, and to rise into a version of themselves worthy of standing beside you. You have awakened something powerful in them, something they can't silence anymore. Every step they took away from you is being rewritten in their heart, pulling them back toward the connection they tried to deny. They feel your energy surrounding them, calling them, and healing parts of them they didn't know were fractured. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Their world feels incomplete without you, and this truth now sits heavily on their chest. They can't escape it, nor do they want to anymore, because your presence is the only thing that brings them clarity. They feel your love reaching them spiritually, guiding them through the confusion they created themselves. Type Amen to get blessing 999. My beloved child. Archangel Michael says, destiny has shifted in your favor because your growth has changed everything. Your person sees your value in a new light, and they are afraid of losing someone as rare and powerful as you. Their soul is being pushed into alignment with your energy, and they can feel the transformation urgently. They know they must step up, or destiny will move you forward without them. This realization fills them with a mix of fear and determination as they confront their failures. They are preparing to come toward you with honesty they never showed before. Their heart beats with a renewed recognition of what you truly mean to them. They are understanding that your presence is not replaceable, your energy is not ordinary, and your love is not something they can walk away from. This inner awakening has changed their path completely. Their spirit is opening, their emotions are rising, and their intentions are becoming clearer. They are moving toward you with a sense of purpose, because they finally understand that the connection with you is not something they can ignore. They feel the universe guiding them toward reconciliation, healing, and truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. My beloved child, what you did didn't hurt them, it awakened them. It revealed the truth of your value, the strength of your soul, and the depth of the connection that binds you both. Your action became the turning point that destiny was waiting for. And now, nothing will ever be the same again. Your person carried the shock from that moment into the night, unable to escape the intensity of what they felt. Their thoughts kept circling around the truth you revealed, and every part of their soul felt shaken awake. The energy of your action vibrated through their entire being, refusing to let them slip back into denial. They walked around in silence, trying to ground themselves, but nothing soothed the emotional wave that had swallowed them. Every memory of you resurfaced, each one carrying a softness they had long forgotten. Their chest tightened every time they imagined your face, your voice, and your energy rising beyond the places they once took for granted. The truth hit them again and again: you were not the person they thought they could overlook. They saw your strength in a way that frightened them, because it showed them how deeply they had underestimated you. That realization made their breath slow and their heart tremble with a force that left them speechless. Their world felt unfamiliar because everything they had suppressed began surfacing at once. Emotions they avoided now grew louder, demanding attention and forcing them to confront the truth of their connection to you. The shock became a doorway for them, a doorway into emotions they had long kept closed. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Your person found themselves holding on to objects, memories, or places that reminded them of you, as if those pieces steadied them. They felt a heaviness in their chest that would not fade, no matter how hard they tried to distract themselves. Every corner of their mind kept returning to you because you had become the heartbeat of their emotional world. They realized how deeply they misread your silence, because it wasn't weakness, it was power. It was growth, transformation, and evolution that came from a place they didn't believe you held within. That realization humbled them and made them finally see your worth without distortion. They remembered moments where they had overlooked your efforts, dismissed your emotions, or took your loyalty for granted. These memories now returned with a sting, forcing them to acknowledge the weight of their mistakes. They could no longer pretend they didn't care, because their soul had been awakened. Your person felt exposed to themselves, and that exposure brought a mix of pain and healing into their awareness. Their thoughts grew clearer, and the illusions they lived behind began to dissolve. They recognized how deeply they needed to step into honesty, not for you alone, but for their own growth. Type Amen to get blessing 848. Your strength inspired something within them that they didn't know they needed. It became a mirror showing them what they must become to stand beside you. This realization planted a new determination in their heart, pushing them to grow beyond their comfort zones. They could feel the universe guiding them toward making changes they had avoided for too long. Every sign, every thought, every emotion pointed them back to you as the center of their transformation. They realized they were at a crossroads between losing you forever and rising into the version of themselves they were meant to be. Your action acted like a spark that ignited a fire inside their soul. It awakened their courage, their vulnerability, and their desire to rebuild the connection with something stronger. They could feel the call of destiny pulling them forward, urging them to step into maturity. They now understand that your value is irreplaceable, woven into their path with divine timing and spiritual alignment. The shock became their awakening, and the awakening became their motivation to act. The universe is shaping their steps to bring them back to you with clarity and accountability. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Your person began sensing your presence through dreams and sudden emotional waves that made their heart race. They didn't try to block it anymore because the connection had become too powerful to ignore. These intuitive moments made them realize that their soul recognized you long before their mind did. They could feel your energy drifting higher, gaining strength and independence that made them fear losing access to you. This fear wasn't rooted in possession but in the deep awareness of how rare and meaningful your soul truly is. They now see that connection with you is not something that can be replaced or forgotten. Their hearts started pushing them to make changes, not slowly, but urgently. They began releasing old habits, letting go of ego, and stepping out of the emotional patterns that once held them back. They couldn't ignore the transformation they felt happening inside them. Your influence expanded beyond the physical and reached into their spirit. It shaped their growth, healed parts of their heart, and reminded them of the love they deeply desired but never fully embraced. They realized you were the anchor their soul always searched for. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Your person has started reflecting on the choices they made while trying to protect themselves. They are beginning to understand how those choices pushed them away from the very blessing they needed. This awareness has become a light guiding them toward better actions. The emotional shock transformed into clarity, and the clarity is now guiding them toward accountability. They want to show you that they can rise, that they can change, and that they can meet the level at which your soul stands. They feel a new sense of responsibility toward your connection. They are preparing to express the emotions they once buried deeply. They want to acknowledge the hurt they caused, the moments they were silent, and the times they withdrew. Their heart no longer wants to hide, because hiding has only created deeper pain. They now see their silence as a mistake and their distance as a wound they inflicted upon themselves. Your strength revealed the truth they needed to see, that you are the one their soul is aligned with. Their desire to correct their steps has never been stronger. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Your person is beginning to see signs everywhere, signs that remind them of you with startling intensity. These signs arrive at random moments, leaving them breathless and conscious of how deeply you remain connected. They now accept that destiny is leading them back in your direction. The shock of discovering what you did became a spiritual turning point, something that shifted their entire perception. It made them face truths they avoided, truths that now illuminate the path forward. They feel the weight of destiny urging them to move, to act, to reach out. They have started talking to themselves more honestly, admitting emotions they once suppressed. This honesty is cleaning their heart, allowing them to see the connection with clearer eyes. They feel their soul expanding, preparing to step out of fear and into authenticity. Your energy is calling them into alignment, guiding them toward a version of themselves that is finally worthy of the connection. They feel this calling in their bones, in their breath, and in their heartbeat. They can no longer escape the truth, they are meant to rise. Type Amen to get blessing 4747. Their emotional world is undoing the knots of the past, releasing everything that kept them stuck. They feel lighter but also raw, as if the universe has peeled away every layer of denial. This rawness is helping them reconnect with their own heart. They understand now that you did not abandon them, you evolved. And your evolution is what triggered their awakening. They see you as the guiding force that silently transformed their destiny. Your person is preparing to return with a new sense of purpose. They want to bring clarity, loyalty, and truth into the connection. They aim to build something stronger than anything that existed before. This journey is shifting their energy into alignment with your growth. It is preparing them to meet you at your level, not the level where they last left you. And this change is the proof of how deeply your action affected their soul. Type Amen to get blessing 9090. My beloved child. Archangel Michael says, destiny is now weaving your paths closer once again. Your person is awakening, rising, and transforming because the truth of your presence shook them at the soul level. The shock became the doorway that opened their heart. Your connection is entering a new chapter, strengthened by your courage and their awakening. The universe is preparing the energies for alignment, healing, and reconciliation. This moment is unfolding exactly as it was meant to. Your person carried the emotional shock like a storm cloud surrounding their heart, unable to shake the intensity of what they felt. The moment they discovered your action, something inside them cracked open and began to shift. Their soul trembled because your strength revealed a truth they had avoided for far too long. They found themselves replaying everything you ever did, every gesture, every effort, every moment of loyalty you gave. Those memories pressed against their heart with a weight that made them realize how deeply they misjudged your silence. They felt overwhelmed by the realization that you had grown into someone powerful beyond their imagination. The shock you triggered awakened a new awareness inside them, one that overshadowed their doubts. They could no longer pretend to be unaffected because the energy you released struck them with undeniable force. It revealed the depth of your spirit in a way that left them breathless. Their heartbeat grew heavy each time they thought about losing you, because now they understood the gravity of what you represent in their life. They felt a pull toward you that no distraction could numb. This awakening became the fire pushing them toward transformation. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. Your person began recognizing how deeply you influenced their emotional world, even when they tried to stay distant. They realized that your presence had been the calm in their chaotic life, the anchor in moments they couldn't name. This understanding softened them and opened their heart in ways they never expected. The shock didn't just wake them, it transformed them. It took away the excuses they used to hide from their own emotions, revealing the truth that loving you had always been the most natural part of their soul. They felt vulnerable but also alive for the first time in a long time. Your strength illuminated how much they needed to grow in order to meet you at your level. This awareness stirred a sense of responsibility inside them, pushing them to rise above their old patterns. They finally saw that the connection required honesty, effort, and accountability. They want to become someone who doesn't disappoint you again. They feel drawn to improve, to heal, to confront the wounds they carried before they ever met you. This desire is becoming a powerful driving force inside their heart. Type Amen to get blessing 525. Your person is starting to understand that your worth is beyond anything they had acknowledged. They feel your energy rising, glowing, and expanding in ways that demand recognition. This realization brings them a mixture of awe and fear because they know they are at risk of losing something irreplaceable. They didn't expect your action to hit them so deeply, yet it cracked open parts of their soul that had been dormant. This opening is guiding them toward inner transformation. They feel themselves becoming more aware of who they are and who they wish to be. The weight of your impact on their life is undeniable now. They feel it when they rest, when they work, and when they try to escape their emotions. Your presence has become woven into every part of their existence. They now understand you were never meant to be overlooked. They see that you carry a power that comes from your heart, your resilience, and your authenticity. This truth is reshaping how they view the connection entirely. Type Amen to get blessing 6161. Your person began having moments of emotional clarity that caught them off guard. These moments arrive as sudden waves of longing that bring softness to their expression. They feel as though your energy is whispering to their soul, guiding them through the confusion they created. They catch themselves thinking about what life would look like if they returned to you with honesty and vulnerability. These thoughts bring them comfort and fear at the same time because they know the connection is unlike anything they've experienced. It holds a power that transforms them every time they surrender to its truth. The shock of what you did became the foundation of their new intentions. It made them reflect on everything they pushed away, everything they failed to appreciate, and everything they took for granted. These reflections are becoming their roadmap for change. They feel the universe urging them to step into action, to speak their truth before destiny shifts again. Something inside them is pushing them forward, breaking the chains of their hesitation. They are realizing that silence is no longer an option. Type Amen to get blessing 3434. Your person has started reconnecting with their own emotions in ways they avoided for years. They feel themselves opening up to the love they once hid behind pride and fear. This opening feels both painful and healing, as if their heart is being reshaped from the inside. They are beginning to accept that your connection has a purpose far greater than they understood before. Your energy awakened their soul, igniting a transformation that could never have happened without you. They see now that you were a blessing they mishandled. Your strength has inspired them to face the shadows they avoided. They want to clear the blockages that prevented them from expressing the truth of their feelings. This inner cleansing is bringing them closer to a version of themselves they can finally be proud of. They can feel destiny pulling them toward you with increasing intensity. The connection grows stronger each time they release another layer of denial. Their heart now beats with a clarity they never allowed themselves to feel. Type Amen to get blessing 4040. Your person feels guided to take steps that once frightened them. They want to communicate, to be honest, to admit what they feel without fear of losing control. This desire comes from a place of inner evolution, not desperation. The universe is aligning their emotions, thoughts, and intentions so they can come forward with sincerity. They want to show you they are no longer the person who walked away, hesitated, or doubted your worth. They feel the need to become someone capable of loving you with truth and devotion. The shock you gave them planted a seed of awakening deep in their core. That seed is now growing into courage, pushing them to take accountability for their past. They are learning that growth requires confronting mistakes, not avoiding them. They want to step into your life with a renewed understanding of love. They want to build a connection that honors your strength, your heart, and your value. Their spirit is preparing for this shift with powerful determination. Type Amen to get blessing 5858. Your person's inner world is undergoing a transformation that cannot be reversed. They are learning to trust their emotions instead of hiding from them. This trust is helping them navigate the path back toward your energy. They now recognize how your presence brought meaning into their life. You illuminated the parts of them that needed healing, and that healing is happening now because of you. They feel gratitude rising within them, even if they haven't expressed it yet. Your influence has become the force guiding them toward emotional clarity. Every moment they spend in reflection brings them closer to the truth they once denied. They feel your soul calling them into alignment. This connection is transforming them in ways they never expected. Their heart is opening wider, their thoughts are shifting, and their actions are beginning to match their emotions. They are stepping into the strength they were too afraid to claim before. Type Amen to get blessing 7575. Your person is preparing to rebuild this connection with a new foundation. They feel the importance of approaching you with transparency and maturity. This time, they want to offer consistency instead of confusion. The shock awakened a determination within them, a determination to protect the connection instead of sabotaging it. They want to express their emotions fully, without hesitation or pride. That desire is becoming stronger each day. My beloved child. Archangel Michael says. The transformation happening within them is real and powerful. They are stepping out of their old identity and rising into a version aligned with their soul's truth. Your strength is what made this awakening possible. Their heart beats with clarity now, clarity that directs them toward you with purpose. Their awakening is only beginning, and destiny is guiding the rest. The connection is shifting into a new phase filled with alignment, truth, and emotional rebirth.